you know, even though I know it's gonna hold, it's still, you know, I'm hanging out like this. So it's kind of I have to rely on all this. It's not me holding. If I can hold here with one hand, you know, then I feel secure. But if I'm just hanging out with both hands, if this, then I'm done. I trust the house, you know. I'm not very well organized in the physical. There's sometimes I can be very chaotic, especially when there's just a few or little space. So we cleaned something in the backyard. There's in the backyard, you know, these little shelters, and we took out all of the material somebody many years ago left there. It was very well. Once we started to take it out, I realized how well organized it was, you know. There were 2 beds, there was 1 chair, there was just the sitting area of a chair, there were pots for flowers, and it was just well arranged somehow. It was, you know, everything was falling apart. In one box there was a dead rat, you know, totally dried out. And we were taking all this stuff out, and all of a sudden it was like, oh no, what are, in my head, you know, what are you doing? You were destroying like the beauty of a story. And then I was like, fuck. And already while I was cleaning, I saw everything like everywhere I saw the beauty of like culture being exposed to the natural time, which means, you know, it's there and it's not burned. It has the time that it takes to dissolve somehow, like on a compost. And I was like, fuck, I destroyed it. And then I couldn't continue. And Sabrina was like, well, come on, we started, we got to finish it now. And then I was like, okay, and we found this one wooden box. It was closed with nails, very light. In the inside, there were newspapers, like, you know, like this, and some other light material like old material to fill boxes when you send something, like we have nowadays, this plastic stuff. And we were looking through the newspapers, which were from 1959. Solothurner newspaper. Sabrina was checking all the images of the commercials, you know, the 60 graphics and all this. That was more reading a bit in the text, and was kind of, there has to be, you know, it's a treasure. Where is the treasure? In the very end, really the last piece of newspaper I take out, it's this article there in the corner. It's about the art of everyday life.
Der ist der Fleckchen.
Das ist eine.
Nein, wenn es
Nein, der Nori gar nicht gemeint. Nein, das ist die Tochter, der Sohn, das ist der Neffe.
Ah, also
Ja.
eine Schwester, oder?
Ja, von einer Schwester.
Ja, was? Ja.
Ja, und was machst du?
Ja, ich kenne
Das
es.
wie du am besten. Ja?
Nein, ewig, Jesus, man, das ist ja schon, ich bin glaube 97 schon weg,
Aha, ja.
96.
Du hast das auch so.
Mutti, kannst du bitte deine Spaghetti jetzt selber übernehmen?
Schwester, was hast du?
Ja, auch Schwesterchen. Bist du Schwester?
Spaghetti.
Du kannst es ablesen.
In die Pfanne
Du magst dich nicht erinnern.
Mutti is a turtle and Fati is a gepard. She's slowly. But she has a goal, a Ziel, a dream or a goal, and then she go there, but slowly. And on the way she think a lot of things, and he has she has time to think a lot of things. Yeah, like a turtle. Leopard is the not slow, the other one, the fast animal in the world, and it's the best, the first one. And Fatih is also, he is perfect. He can all things. he can all things. Fatih. He is fast in all things. He is. Fatih has a goal and then he go there. Very fast. He don't have streams and Umwege, you know what is it? Makes so and not so like a turtle.
We had a lot of salads and it's all damaged now because of the rain, the ice rain. My daughter, Verena, she wants, when she finishes, she wants to make here permaculture. Yeah, I don't know why, but every time when a child came to the world and I was getting the birth, I put up a stone and took it with me. I can show you. I have a little. Oh. Are all these stones? Friend Elias had two. I had two from Elias. These are from the Alps. I worked there as a cowgirl. I told you. And I took two. So when he died, I gave in his sark. I gave one of these. And this is Elias. Anna. This is Anna. This one. This is Verena. And this is Florian. And this is Sophie. Yes, this one. Yes, and I have them. I don't know why. Anyway, in this little box. I don't know. It's just for. You know, you have some pains if you get a baby. So I walked a little around and I take a stone and during birth I had it in my hand. I moved it so that I'm not so become so fixed on this pain, you know. Somehow I didn't think about it. Just come from the moment. Yes. And I didn't have this in my plans. Things like this.
Martin,
Ja.
die Fenkelstangen kann man essen.
Ja, ich weiss.
Und
Die-
ja, kannst du auch reinschneiden.
Wenn ja, ja. Könntest du noch ein paar drüber liegen oder genau?
Pass through the my. It belongs to a neighbor of me. I have to bring it. It's a water buffalo. That's my place for working. Almost 100%. I'm working in schools with kids, and here I'm preparing things. Here I have my woods, and because I'm renovating, I'm rebuilding the house. I need machines and work to be able to do this. If you're rebuilding houses, you have a lot of stuff, like insulation, plates, woods, all that stuff.
They all throw it away. It's old stuff, they say. So we took it and renovated a little bit. And yes. You know, I wanted to go to Turkey, in the east of Turkey. I don't know why, I just had the idea. My father said, you are not allowed because you're not 20 years and not go alone somewhere. And then I went to Poland. And then I waited my 20th birthday and then I wanted to travel to Turkey. And on the way there, I came to Romania and I stayed there because I met people, and then they said to me, come with me, and then they showed me a house for children, an orphanage, you understand? And it was so terrible. And I was there, and I started to work in this house. And then I came back to Switzerland, and I thought, it's so terrible that we have so much money here, and this is one part of the problem, that in other countries the illness is so, you understand, not the illness, the poorness is so. So then I decided to stay in Switzerland and to make here what I can. You understand, to think here about money and yeah. When we married, we had no money. Really, because we didn't never worked for money. We worked for Ida, Stefan and I. And then we got the children. And yes, we had money because we are teachers. But then we had illness. They were ill, our children. So Florian had the tumor in his head, and Anna has diabetics. Mm-hmm. So they had this illness, and you always had to go to hospital and to have somebody who cares about other children. You understand? So we always had to pay them this and this, and we also lived on this mountain with this small school, a special school. And then this closed, and we had to find a place. So where to go with so much children? And then we looked here in Switzerland. It's so expensive to find an apartment. So we bought this old house, and we had to renovate it a little bit and to work. Yes. And now I have a little bit time to, yeah. And this is the stuff from Elias, from our oldest son who died. So we decided it's 7 years now. So 7 years are a special time in life. Now it's the point that we discuss who wants to have this. So we opened all these boxes from him and yeah.
Yes.
And this pedagogic, he looks at a life in in parts of 7. For example, all your body, all your cells, after 7 years are new. You know this? It's not, it's not a theory. It's somehow to look very fine on what happens in the people. And so it's the same, the small children, we say, we look at like coming to earth, slowly until 21, and then you're here. In this special pedagogic, you don't, if the children come to earth, you try to help them to get in a good movement in your body. In the first 7 years, you don't use their intellect too much. You help them to come in the body. And in the second 7 years, you especially help them to have your soul, your feelings in. You tell them a lot of stories about fairy tales, or also a lot of stories which they can develop their soul. And working with them in the world and arts and so. So in the third 7 years, you have the most. You can see that they become independent with thinking, and so you give them force to them. So often at 21 years, it's individual with every person, but if you look the whole, you see that if a person is 21 years, you're here, arrived on the earth. You understand? You found your personality. So the next 7 years, often they have like the theme to go everywhere. And then often happens that you feel the wish to find a place where you can bring in your force. so then that's the time where you become responsible, or where you want to be together with people, work something. It's going on all your life, different themes. But that's all. Every person is individual. Yes, in this.
Florian is a fox or a bird, Eichelherr. But only this bird, Eichelherr. Wenn der Eichelherr Gefahr sieht, dann zwitschert er, dann schreit er. And all animals in the wood know. Oh, okay, Florian looks every time what is the situation. When he comes in a new group, he don't go in the group and blah 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 like Anna. Florian looks, and sometimes he when he found this group is good, there are nice people, then he go and blah blah blah. And he sing a lot. Earlier when he was smaller, he sang every time on the toilet, in the kitchen, in the bed, every time. And when he sing, we know it's all okay. So Florian is okay. And when he don't sing, we know somebody is it's not okay. Something is not okay.
He has to learn it in his Lehr.
Leren is workplace, I don't know.
Yes, over.
It belongs to his professional education that the tools are not thrown on the ground, put away properly. Gebrochen? Ja. Ich wäre jetzt zur Auto gegangen.
Willst du?
Ja, nicht weg, aber ich habe gedacht, wenn ich dich gerade angelegt bin, gehe ich nicht. Was hast du holen?
Jetzt sag ich auf 3 und alle müssen auf dem Stuhl sitzen. 1, 2, Florian und 3.
Kann ich nicht.
Hast du schon gegessen?
Hey. Sollte ich noch Sophie wiederholen?
Nein, du kannst sie einfach sehen.
Und ja, ein Abo machen, ein Krise-Abo.
There is a farmer. He has the trees, cherry trees, and
A lot of fruit trees.
Apple and cherries, yeah.
now say they always eat there.
They steal them.
No, it's not true. We were going for a walk with our dog, and this like an alley. There's an alley, yeah, and an alley, yeah. And you just walk by there, and the cherry trees next to the way, they are not like, no one cares about them. They are so old, and we didn't know even who they belong to, so we thought like, okay, they're cherries. Let's go eat some. And then when we found out, we always went this way to eat the cherries. Then they said like, no, it's forbidden. It's not your tree. Like, oh, okay.
But you could ask it's a friend of Stefan, or a colleague.
Anyway, we don't have a dog anymore, so
You can ask him to give him some money, and always, if you walk there, you can
You could walk Florian up there, or Sophie.
alleine.
Wenn wir hier oben haben wir so einen ganzen Anstock gesehen.
Was?
Ja, Moin. Dann geht das.
Ich mag mich erinnern.
Ja.
Nein, das ist wirklich nicht an einem Fruchtbaum.
Nein,
Nein,
ich
aber
und
du
Geld.
hast sicher angehalten und Alter, ja, kann ich schon raus? Geht dir ganz sicher ganz ab. Morgen, ich habe nichts, das kann sogar sein.
They say I help them to steal cherries. I can't remember.
I was with them. And like, she stopped the car like, go out and take some. And then they wanted to take some cherries and they like,
Pulled on the
Pulled
branch, so it broke.
I don't remember to do such a bad thing. Because if I think it's right and it's not the law, I do it anyway. You know, if
Yeah.
my heart says.
So she steals.
No. Yes, some boys have cherries. I'm sure. he was so stressed because of school, because he had to learn French and
Didn't.
he has so stressed, and I felt this boy needs a little bit of sun now because
Distraction.
it was always foggy here in this winter. And then I said to him in the morning, stay in the bed and don't speak to anybody.
You are ill now.
And then I went to him and said, oh, Florian is ill. And to all I said, Florian is ill, don't disturb him. And then when all the others went, I said to Florian, now we do something. And I put you know
The
this,
blanket.
a blanket.
Over
for
him.
him.
I
Yeah.
said, nobody
I was
should see
with
you now.
Ja, Elfa ist noch mit.
Anna.
Anna.
Nobody should see you. Ja, ihr habt frei gehabt. And I put this blanket around him, put the car in front of the door, and I said, now I have to bring you out, that nobody sees you. In the blanket, I put him in the car behind, hide him. And he, as a little boy, was so, oh, what happens? And then I went with him to a mountain, all the day at the sun to Schlittle,
Slide.
to
No.
slide. And in school I
Nein,
With this in the winter and snow, you have right down the hill.
nein, das ist nicht Slide. Warte, was haben wir in Englisch gehabt?
Not skiing, not snowboarding.
slide.
Nein, nein, das haben wir im
Not
Englisch
slide,
gehabt.
toddler.
To
Das ist ja
the
nicht gleich.
Snow in a one horse open sleigh.
Slide. In a slide.
Wir haben es
Schlitten.
aber...
Es gibt sicher noch andere Namen, aber ein Slide ist auch richtig.
So
It's just nicht schlimm.
I also told the teacher that he is ill. And said, sick.
Sick.
Yeah, sick. And when we came back, I made the same to bring a little bit of
Joy in his
in
life.
his life again. And then I said to the teacher, because he's my colleague, you know, I work together with his teacher. I said to him, when Florian leaves the school, I have to tell him a little story. So I told him this story. And he said, oh, you did right.
This one is the worst, I swear.
Yes, for
She has
this.
the worst ideas.
Yes, no. If I think it's important, I don't care about the law. But I never make bad things to other
Yeah,
people.
that's true,
No,
but
no,
like-
no, no.
Sometimes. Sometimes suddenly water.
Yes, but don't tell I make crimes. No.
Hey, Vati,
You could get arrested.
Vati, hast du gewusst, dass jemand mir auf dem Weg an mir hat geholfen hat? Zum Ausschleichen, komm anschauen.
Was?
Du hast gesagt, ich darf nicht anschauen.
Ja.
Da hat sie mir geholfen zum Aussuchen.
I
was the
forbid
teacher.
something.
He said, no, you have to go to bed and not
Bed.
to bed. And he wanted to watch football with a neighbor man.
No, soccer.
Huh?
Soccer.
Was he
In English, soccer is football. Fußball is soccer.
And football
In
English.
So there was a special game,
Match. Special match.
special match. And he forbid him. And then I said to Florian, look, I see it's so important. So you sit on my back. And then I walk down the stairs and he thinks it's only one person walking down. And at about this time you have to be in front of the door, so I bring you up again.
And did you realize that?
Well,
I remember, yeah.
no.
Yes, but it's you know, it was a little bit a game making. Yes.
She likes to cheat.
Yeah.
The last 2 years ago, Sophie and I, we wrote a letter, and on the 1st of April, and we brought it to Stefan. And in this letter was written that there was a wie kann man das
Sheep
erklären?
inspection, health inspection.
They came to the stable and they saw that Stefan did not do all the things well, so he has to bring one of his sheep to the, wie kann man sagen, zum Vereinsessen?
To the what?
It was the idea of Sophie, she has this idea.
Organization, like the lead of, the lead of the organization. Yeah,
Of the sheep.
he has to bring a young one there as like a sacrifice. No,
Sacrifice.
yeah, to sacrifice his
Sacrifice one
lamb.
of my sheep because I.
And he believed in it.
He said, oh, what happens? Oh, then I bring one.
Can't be.
was am April gemacht hat mit dem Schaf.
Wat doe je met Schäfli?
No one ever would like, this organization would never ask for a sheep, they would ask for money. Like a file, but they had to like bring this lamb to eat.
Yeah, on Monday we need to go to the slaughter.
Und nachher hat der Vati doch gerade
5 o'clock.
anrufen.
Amen.
To give him whatever it needs, but it also needs a border and leading. Never ask your child, do you want to have this or that? Decide for it. You are the adult. Children can't decide what's better for them. When I went shopping with my children, I never bought something they asked me to. From a principle. If I go shopping the things I wrote down and the things we planned to buy. And when they see the chocolate and when they see the whatever favorite food, I don't buy it then. Maybe I buy it to another time and bring it then. But if you buy it at that time, they learn they can just wish and you do it. And they will ask you again and again and again. They have no border, no ending.
Sophie is a Spitzmoose, showed animal, very fast. You think, oh, it's a so sweet animal, but when you fight with him, he can bite. Very good.
13 years.
A teenager.
And she said, you know, her friends have also modern rooms. So we are so old aged, and so I bought her some. In the family, somebody says, "Oh, I need a table," or "Oh, I need just this." So
They all bring it to us
goes
and then pick it up
around.
again, and so we have always a turnover of beds. Like Jun, when he came, he needed a bed or 2 beds. So we had an old bed. So I bought the inside of the bed, and we had 2 old mattresses. Now he has a complete bed. We didn't need to buy one. We had one. So it's all a turnover.
this cupboard, I think it would be a good one. I would make away this material, that it's natural, and I like it. And and it's not too huge. You can put some beautiful things in, yeah.
You can restore it, but it's a
Yes,
lot of
I-
work to restore
Yes,
it.
I know.
You know, it's
Exactly. But it's you know, this is IKEA stuff. You know IKEA. Cheap stuff you with bad stuff. But this is a good wood. Yes, she makes things like this. Yeah. Yes, she, you know, she take this is from the apples and she colored it and
oh, that's a stone.
good. So I can start to make a beautiful room when she comes back. Maybe she likes it.
Weißt du, was ich da würde anbieten, Eva?
Hä?
Da ein bisschen Pflanzen aufhängen zum Beispiel.
Ja, okay.
That's for sure. You shouldn't always entertain children. If you're on holiday, a lot of parents say, oh, let's go there, let's do this. What you like here, I go to you to the bath. And so they entertain the children. And I believe very strongly that children shouldn't be entertained all the time. So they should be first bored, so they want to do something out of their own. And they never get to that point if you have a smartphone, if you have a TV, if you have a laptop with internet. So they always get entertained. They never entertain themselves. So it's a passive consumer thing. They only learn how to consume. They never learn to do something out of themselves. They have no intention to do something. I think the biggest mistake, maybe I did it myself as well, but the biggest mistake is to always look for the children and don't leave them on their own. They should develop and explore their surrounding without being disturbed from their parents all the time. So they can't explore anything if the parents always say, hey look, hey look, hey look. And opposite, that's you only should give them borders. Don't just tell them don't do this, don't do that, just stand as a stop. That's it. Till here and not further. And when we have kids in school, some kids, they don't even are able to step behind other people. If you have 20 students and ask them to pick something up, you have students who are not able to wait till it's their turn to pick it up. They want to be first because they are used to be in the center of the world, of their parents, of their surrounding, and they should be able to see that they are just a part of a whole. That's very difficult. That's one of the big difficulties Eva had with her work. She is a kindergarten teacher, and if she tells them, look, you all sit down please, I want to tell you a story, then you always have little children who are not able to sit down and to shut up. They always want to talk, run around. I don't want to hear a story now. I want to have another one. And they don't realize that's not their need who is in the center now. It's the need of the whole group. And they don't accept the authority of an adult because they're not used to meet an authority. And that makes it very hard to put each child on a chair and say, now you have to sit. And there are even children who don't react on this order. They just run around. As a parent, you can just grab a kid, open the door, close and say, you stay in here till I pick you up again. You can cry, you can whatever you do. If I say you want it this way, it has to be this way. And you can't do that as a teacher. And that makes it very, very difficult. And almost impossible to teach children something.
There is people, for them, poets or poems are a special field, like a nice liquor, which can be enjoyed just in small sips every once in a while. They are grateful for the beauty when they go to a concert or to a museum, where they enjoy the classics of the music, they enjoy the Impressionists, and all the rest of the life is a combat, is like a ordinary everyday. But the beauty, or the almost beauty, is to find everywhere. The poems are not like how to say, this to me is kind of like the source of existence, to get there. You know, to be calm, to know that there's a place where it's really all one, and we have this inside of ourselves. And at the same time we have a personality. Like you have a story within this life that formed you to what you are today, which is on a probably psychological level responsible for the needs you have to be what you are, or to do what you do. And then you have a physical body which has certain needs, which you can fulfill. You don't have to. I mean, it's also, this can also be an experiment that I sometimes make myself. For example, I live here with a third partner in the same apartment, and I realize, for example, how each partner brings a specific way of cooking. So I try to take this influence and to see what happens with my body, through my body, with my thinking and my perception, my emotional perception. And if I bring this into the context of where I come from with my family, my father is a psychiatrist, my mom is a yoga teacher and kind of socially active, like she worked with foreign young people. I can make a relation to this, you know, that I observe and try to understand my kind of, or try to, understand, and through the understanding also or try to live and understand the influences of other people on me. And in the kind of collaboration So in the end, I guess the essence of this article is that poems or art is not to be found in a certain context within a closed book, within a closed gallery, within a closed museum. It's to found where you are. And that the artists have this ability to see the beauty even there where usually beauty would not be seen, meaning in the decay or in the destruction. For me, this is also like, you know, if you look in Europe and all the destructed parts of the cities which were left and nobody could see a purpose to it or could do something with it. There were artists entering these places, first of all because there was low costs or stuff like this, but also because there is an interest in this decay where the ruins show the beauty of time, where culture is allowed to be taken over somehow by nature, or taken over, reformed. And that would be then, in my perception, the reformation of culture, then also meant by a natural way of putting actions into a place which do not have to have a certain goal, a certain ending point, but they take place because there's a need of somebody for something to change. Something like this.
Sulla